Okay, HikoToilet, where is the real Gman?
Yeah, you heard me. Watch the rest of the video.
Let's
and you'll see
go.
why I think so. We also have a special guest today, ISOToilet.
Hi everyone, today we're going to try to solve the mysteries of Gman Toilet together with Hiko. Hope you will enjoy this collaborative video, my friends.
Prepare the goodies and the tea.
Oh my god, this is cooperation.
I'd like to discuss a few theories about Gman. It just so happens that in episode 65, he made a lot of noise, and it wasn't by accident, because all this time we thought we were following the real Gman. Skibidi Toilet outsmarted everyone, and they managed to fool us. Who would have thought that all this time, Gman was a fake? In fact, episode 65 showed us that now the Alliance, when they see Gman, they can't be sure he's real. Now we can't even be sure that the toilet scientist is the same scientist we knew. It's possible
by the way, guys, I think the Gman is like a normal toilet right now. So many versions of the Gman we can get. There is no one Gman, but there is probably definitely 4 or 5.
His own big copy and is running it like a puppet.
I
this
think,
new trick from Skibidi Toilet gives them the ability to constantly deceive the Alliance. After all, you can see that even the Gman puppet is almost as powerful as the real Gman. Although you can see the difference that the fake Gman couldn't survive the fire from Titan Cameraman. Although in episode 57, he calmly withstood fire damage and didn't even take any damage. At most, he got a crack on his forehead, and that was more because Titan hit him with his hammer, which means the real Gman has tremendous fire resistance. And that would probably be the first thing the toilet scientist needs to work on.
Oh!
But why would a fake Gman be necessary in the first place?
Oh, I don't even realize this, you know, that the Fight 57 and Gman survived this.
Most would say for the Titans to get trapped. But that's not entirely true. There are more reasons why the toilet scientist created the fake. As you remember in episode 57, Gman took massive damage from a Titan, and I don't think he could keep fighting on par with the other Titans after that. I mean, he couldn't beat Cameraman Titan, and now that he's taken a huge amount of damage, it's definitely not worth it for him to keep fighting. And the most logical action he can take is to run away, fully recover his strength, and also improve his armor and weapons. ISO, what do you think about that?
It's funny how you've become suspicious of everyone, even the scientist, but it really makes sense. Remember how in episode 30 he had a scanner next to his eye? Now it's in place of the eye. Also, I would like to point out that in episode 57, Titan Cameraman didn't roast Gman for as long as he did in the 65th one. But you're right, the Gman in episode 57 is a completely different Skibidi.
Yeah, okay, so they say it. This is really interesting, you know, how Gman can survive the damage from the fire.
Toilet, but I think it's a clone too. Notice that his toilet consists of 2 toilets combined together. It's not a stand underneath, it's the cistern of the other toilet. I already pointed this out in my video. Maybe the real Gman is the one we only saw in the early episodes, but that the G toilet from episode 65 is just a weak clone. That's true. I think the scientist is a genius for coming up with this plan.
Yes, the Skibidi scientist did come up with a crazy plan. He decided to create a fake Gman, so that instead of chasing the real Gman, the Titans would chase the fake one, and think they were close to winning. But it can't be that simple, and it's too bad the Titans didn't realize it in time, which led to them falling into a dastardly trap. But why did the fake Gman have lasers from back in episode 38? By the way, the first such lasers didn't come from Gman himself, but from another Skibidi. In episode 32, a camouflage toilet tried to attack a Speakerman Titan with the same lasers. I have a dream to collect 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I have a theory as to why the fake Gman had the old lasers. I think the lasers on the real Gman are one of a kind, and they're not made anymore, although I don't see a problem with making a copy of the real.
Okay, this is probably the real Gman, you know?
The lasers. If they could build a replica of Gman, then why not make a replica of the lasers we saw in episode 57?
I don't think Skibidi has any problem with lasers. Gman probably has different clones. One of them is needed to take the hits, like in episode 38. We saw the same thing in episode 65. Gman was just a decoy. But when it comes to the real battle, the Skibidi unleashed the Gman with powerful lasers.
I think Defuk also did it that way on purpose, so we're completely sure it's a Gman fake. But then...
Wow, no, yes, I agree with that, but why on the description he writes Boom writes G toilet? So I think this is not the, as I said, this is not one Gman. There is no true Gman. I think there is probably more Gman, but every Gman is not true, you know?
Then where's the real one now? Skibidi
the real one.
Toilet deliberately stalled for 7 episodes, so that the real Gman would have time to recover and improve his weapons and armor. And there's a good chance he'll be back in episode 66 to take down the Titans. I'm also not ruling out the theory that he's missing now to get a full overhaul and a good upgrade. What do you think, bro? Will we see the real Gman in the new episodes?
Of course we will. Really, I don't think the original Gman has ever actually been upgraded, but maybe you're right, and that G-Toilet from episode 57 is the original one. Regardless of whether it's a clone or not, that Gman is being improved on the base and will probably still appear next season. I also think he'll show up unexpectedly for us and the Alliance.
Also, I think Skibidi Toilet can take over the Titans and steal their tech in order to pump Gman to the max. As an example, the toilet scientist. He's adopted the speakers from the TV Man Titan. and he's successfully using them to counter the Alliance. And by the same token, the G-Man can do the same thing. I mean, why invent something else when you can steal a ready-made technology, which shows great efficiency? And that's actually going to cause huge problems for the Titans and the Alliance. And what they're going to do about it, and what other new technologies the Alliance is going to use, we'll see in future episodes.
They have option to, to make some research about glitch toilets. So maybe this. Definitely we need to get more Titans for Alliance,
Yeah, that would be crazy. Imagine someone from Skibidi Toilets learning how to use the power of Titan's core. That would be very powerful. I hope it doesn't happen. Speaking of Cinnamon, I think we'll see him in the new season of Skibidi Toilet. Now is a good time to come back and help the Alliance when 2 Titans are badly injured.
Thank you, ISO. Now get ready. This theory will blow your mind. You'll be shocked by what you hear. Why G-Man is now our friend and not our enemy. In episode 57, he sustained massive damage and flew back to his base to be repaired. And now I'll tell you what happens in episodes 58 through 65. In episodes 58 and 59, we are not shown G-Man. In these episodes, the Titans are trying to catch up with G-Man, and also, along the way, actively help the front lines where the agents are having problems. At the same time, G-Man arrives at his base and realizes that he is not welcome there, and they want to get rid of him, so he escapes from the base. Then in episode 60, we see an assassination attempt on him, but the toilet scientist protects his bait for the Titans, not G-Man himself like we thought. The Astro Toilets have mistaken the fake G-Man for the real one. Unlike my viewers, they're not as attentive and didn't notice his lasers. But why does Skibidi Toilet want G-Man out? I think it's because he's not capable of bringing victory to...
I think Astro Toilets knows that G-Man is one of the more G-Men,
And that no plan of his is working. Skibidi Toilet only suffers losses and defeat. The Scientist Toilet, on the other hand, is able to bring victory to the Skibidi Toilet. And we've already seen the effectiveness of his plan over the last 7 episodes. Now do you understand why he's gotten so big? He is now the most important Skibidi Toilet.
So you're saying G-Man made his own clone and sent it to the Astro Toilets?
No, the decoy was made by a scientist, and the Astro Toilets just mistook him for the real one.
If you imagine that in episode 57 we see the real G-Man toilet, it makes sense.
There is further evidence that in episodes 58 and 59, G-Man was going to be destroyed. Remember his rude conversation with the Astro Toilets? They were clearly unhappy about something. And it was because apparently G-Man promised an easy victory over the Alliance. Especially since the Skibidi Toilet at the time had Speakerman, who was infected with the parasite. But something went wrong, and in that fight, G-Man almost died, and Skibidi Toilet lost Speakerman Titan. The parasite that controlled it has been destroyed thanks to TV Woman. And a logical question arose in the Skibidi Toilet community. Is it even worth it to continue to support G-Man? Or is it better to find a new leader who will be better at controlling?
This is really cool,
Astro Toilets mistook the fake G-Man for the real one, and attempted liquidation. At that moment, they almost ruined the Scientist Toilet's cunning plan. That's why the toilet scientist stood up for the fake G-Man. Then in episode 61, we don't see G-Man, but we do see Speaker Woman.
This is Raidel filler, yeah?
Then in episode 62, we see the fake G-Man again. And this was done on purpose to make us think we were hunters, when it turns out to be the opposite. We've been trapped like prey, but that's okay. We should make the right conclusions and not fall into such traps again. And by the way, the Skibidi Toilet taught us a very good trick, one that the agents can replicate in the future, and that's how the Skibidi Toilet will fall into the trap.
Why didn't the fake G-Man tell the Astro Toilets that he wasn't real? And anyway, if everyone wanted to get rid of the G-Man, why didn't the scientist betray the real one? I think what we saw in episode 60 was just a performance for the Alliance. As you remember,
Oh my god, I said that, or do you remember? I said that on my prediction and my analysis.
the Titans were watching everything through TV Man's screen. But this theory is interesting. Do you think G-Man will switch to the Alliance side in the next episodes?
I don't think so. G-Man can switch sides.
What are your expectations for the new season in general?
We didn't see G-Man in episode 63 either, but Black Speakerman showed up. Dafook adds too many new characters in such a short time. I think it's for a reason, and they will play their role in the next episodes. In episode 64, we see G-Man again, and notice the smirk on his face as he flies away, as if he's up to something, and even then I knew there was something wrong. And when I saw a trap at the end, I was sure that the Titans were flying into a trap.
Yeah, back then it was clear that G-Man was trapping the Titans. I think even the Titans realized that.
The entire Skibidi Toilet community had no idea that, all this time, we've been chasing a fake G-Man, and that this is how Skibidi Toilet would be able to do damage to the Titans. Let's get back to the main question. Why do I think G-Man is no longer the enemy? It's very simple. In episodes 58 and 59, he flew to his base for repairs, but he wasn't welcome, so he flew off until he was destroyed. Now, if you put what I said above together, there's a very good chance that G-Man will defect to the Alliance, and thus help them free the Titans from captivity. After all, there's no point in G-Man going back to Skibidi anymore, and there's no point in looking for small Skibidi who will support him. After all, Skibidi Toilets obey the one who is more feared, and who has more authority in their eyes. That's the Scientist Toilet right now. Although they are stupid, they realize that it is more profitable for them to be on the side of the Scientist. Because G-Man himself is no threat without the Scientist. Because he gets all his upgrades from the Toilet Scientist, and G-Man alone can't survive without support. Therefore, since he has nothing to lose, he can safely go to the Alliance, and fight with them against the Skibidi Toilet. But I wouldn't trust G-Man, because there's no guarantee that he won't betray Skibidi Toilet again. Skibidi Toilet might invite him back to their side, in return if he betrays the agents and helps the toilets win. It is also possible that the agents themselves may use Gman to achieve their goals, and then simply get rid of him.
Your theory is a good one and has a place too. I think the Gman is still on the side of the Skibidi Toilets. We've only seen betrayal with the fake Gman. No one betrayed or attacked the other Gmen. I guess we will see in time how it goes. I also noticed a lot of details in my video about Gman.
Okay, guys, this is really cool theory, but I don't think it's too complicated. For me, the simplest answers are better, you know? And I don't think so Gman can betray the Skibidi Toilets. And as I said, I think that there is more Gman, but this is G-Toilets, you know? The same like normal version. Okay, guys, watch other videos.